All right, I am here with Ross Izard from the Independence Institute, also part of the presentation that we just saw, and I'm missing a few seconds of the next presentation to interview you, which shows you how important a guy you are. So tell me about your institute and what you guys do.
All right, so the Independence Institute is a nonpartisan, nonprofit think tank here in Colorado. We focus on free market issues, so we do all sorts of stuff, healthcare and gun policy and fiscal policy. My world is just education. Education is the biggest center there. It's the biggest part of what we do.
Now, one of the things you talked about was the Blaine Amendment and the attempt to keep money or keep people away from charter schools and private schools because of it. Can you explain a little bit of that for the people who may not have heard of it and how that's affecting law?
Sure. So I think the distinction that you drew there is important. So we're not talking about keeping money away from potentially faith-based religious schools. We're talking about keeping kids out of seats where they could get a better education in those schools. And basically the way that these things work is they've been slapped into the constitutions of 38 different states, and they say no state aid can go to sectarian institutions, and that's the word they use, not religious, not anything like that. And the idea there is that when these things went through, they were designed to sort of limit the influence of Catholicism in American
Blaine being James G. Blaine, the former Secretary of State of Burn That Letter.
Who also ran for president.
Yep.
That's right. And so as you go further west in the country, you see more of these because they were often a condition of statehood. So further west you go, the more Blaine amendments you see. But these things have their roots in some really nasty discriminatory stuff. I mean, the Ku Klux Klan lobbied for them, the Know Nothing Party lobbied for them, and today they've been sort of euphemized into this separation of church and state thing. That is not what they are.
Yes, but I'm a Catholic, and we know different about that.
That's exactly right. And more importantly, these are depriving many thousands, maybe millions of kids from getting the education that they need. Huge stumbling block.
Now, you've also talked about a workaround, a tax credit for scholarships. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so basically this would be, and I wouldn't even think of it as a workaround. It's more of just a different kind of program. So this would be, if you donate to a private nonprofit organization that gives private scholarships to private kids to go to private schools, you would get a tax credit for that. So the idea is that we just want to incentivize more giving to these organizations so that they can produce more scholarships, get more kids into better schools.
And that's been, so far, the judges have not, the activist judges have not attacked it or knocked them down yet.
Well, it's certainly been attacked. There's 17 of these now, 17 different states, and they've been attacked many times, but they've never managed to get to any real legal argument because every time they go before the court, the judge takes a look at it and says, you know what, you don't have the standing to bring this suit in the first place, and it just gets thrown right out of court.
All right, since I have to get in for the next event, can you tell us where we can find out more information about what you guys do?
Sure. So if you go to independenceinstitute.org, you can find all of it there. You can click on the education button if you want to see what we do or any of the other centers there too.
Thank you so much for your time.
Absolutely. Thank you.